Да. Добрый день, Айтуна. Думаю, все подключились, кто собирался. Хорошо. Сегодня у нас урок логики. По счету это у нас 4-й урок логики. Всего это урок номер 9. Давайте напишу logic 4. И сегодня у нас тема это conditionals. Conditional statement, да? Так можно сказать. Вообще, что вы представляете, когда я говорю слово condition? Что это означает?
Условия.
Да, это условия. И в условии у нас есть специфичное слово, которое представляет это условие. If, да? Получается, через if we are representing conditional statement through if. It's like if something, then something. And the general formula of the general form of the conditional statement is that if P, then Q. Okay, this is the general form of the conditional statement. It says that if P is true, then Q is true. Or in other words, we can say it like P is this, sign P implies Q. What does it mean? If P is true, then Q is also have to be true. So P implies Q. In our case, P is a hypothesis. And Q is conclusion. Let's make some sentence. For example, if I eat big pizza, then I will be full, right? Eating big pizza implies that I will be full, not anymore hungry. So basically, there is 4 forms of conditional statement. Okay, let me write. The first form, it was the conditional statement itself, like if P implies Q, right? If P, then Q. Second form, it's called converse. What does it mean, converse? It says that we swap P and Q, and we get if Q, then P. The second form is converse. So we have the third form. It says inverse. It means that if not P, then not Q. Basically, inverse is just a negation of our conditional statement. So do you remember the sign not? If we contribute the sign not in our conditional statement, we will get our inverse. So the first one was conditional statement, second one converse, and third one is inverse. Здравствуйте, Кумшай. Fourth form, it says it is contrapositive. Fourth form is actually the negation of the converse. If we negate the converse, we will get contrapositive. It means that contrapositive is if not Q, then not P. Okay, Next, let me write some example. Before, I want to mention that there is a Lazio. Lazio is, one of the regions in Italy, and inside the Lazio there is a lot of cities. For example, there is Rome, there is Cassino, there is Anzio, and there is Ostia, and so on. A lot of cities. And also, I want to mention about negation. This is this sign, if you remember from the previous lessons. Sometimes we have to contribute negation into our conditional statement. Okay, let me write an example. Let's say our conditional statement is if you live in Rome, then you live in Lazio. Okay, in our case, living in Rome, this is our P, and living in Lazio, this is our Q. So this is the form if P, then Q. Or we can just represent that P implies Q. They are actually the same. Okay, we have to check, is it true or false? What do you think, guys? The statement, is it true or it's false? If you live in Rome, then you live in Lazio.
That's true.
Yeah, because Rome is inside of Lazio. Let me show you. Like, for example, if this is whole, it's a Lazio, then Rome is one of the cities in Lazio. So if you live in Rome, automatically you live in Lazio. So, yeah. Правильно, Omar? Окей. Как мы можем взять contrapositive form? Нет, не contrapositive, второй был converse. Давайте пройдем converse по порядку. Do you remember what was the converse?
Yes, we flip around Q and B. So if you live in Lazio, then you live in Rome.
Yeah, that's right. So we just sweep, P and Q. We just sweep. Before if, we write Q. Q implies P. So we can represent it the same as Q implies P. Okay, if Q, then P. There was if P, then Q. P implies Q, but here it's if Q, then P. Okay, it will be if you live in Lazio, then you live in Rome. It means that living in Lazio implies living in Rome. Okay, is it true or is it false? What do you think?
Should be false.
Yeah, should be false, because if you live in Lazio, it does not imply that you live in Rome, because in Lazio there is, other cities. Maybe you live in Lazio and you live not in Rome, but in Anzio or in Cassino. So living in Lazio does not imply that you live in Rome. There could be other possibilities, other chances that you live in another city rather than Rome. So this is false. Okay, guys, did you get it? Why it's false? Давайте попробую на русском еще раз объяснить. Если вы живете в Лацио, это предложение говорит, если вы живете в Лацио, then вы живете в Риме. Получается, если вы живете в Лацио, я могу делать conclusion, то, что вы живете в Риме. Но это неверно, потому что если вы живете в Лацио, вы можете жить и в другом сити, в другом городе. Не в Риме, например, в Кассино, либо в Анцио, либо в Ости. Получается, мы на 100% не уверены, то, что если вы живете в Лацио, то вы на 100% живете в Риме. Вы можете жить и в другом городе. Значит, Lazio does not imply Rome. Okay. Next one, was it inverse? Yeah, it was inverse. Do you remember what was the inverse? What form it was?
Negation of both.
Yeah, it was negation of the conditional statement. If the conditional statement was if P then Q, inverse is just, contribution of not. It will be if not P, then not Q. If not P, then not Q. And so what we will write here in our example? What it will be like? Remember, right? The P was living in Rome, Q was living in Lazio. So inverse implies that if you don't live in Rome, then you don't live in Lazio as well. Okay, let's check the validity of this sentence. And what do you think? Is it true or it's false?
It's false.
Why it's false? Айтуна?
Так. Потому что помимо Рима в Лацио есть и другие города.
Угу. Правильно. Смотри, здесь спрашивают, если вы не живете в Риме, значит 100% вы не живете в Лацио. А может, этот человек живет в Кассино. Он не живет в Риме, но он живет в Кассино. Если он живет в Кассино, то он живет в Лацио. Получается, living in Rome does not living in Rome does not imply not living in Lazio. So it could be chance that you live in other city of Lazio, like Cassino, Anzio or Ostia. Хорошо, здесь понятно все, ребят? It will be false.
Да, понятно.
Хорошо. Следующее, самое последнее, это у нас contrapositive. Do you remember what was it? Contrapositive. Contrapositive was the negation of the converse. Let me write. Contrapositive equals negation of converse. What was the converse, guys? We wrote it here. Converse was if Q, then P. Q implies P. So let me rewrite it. If Q, then P. And then we have to negate it. It will be if not Q, then not P. So in our case, what we will write in our case? If Q is living in Lazio and P is living in Rome, what we'll write here?
We can write, if I don't live in Lazio, then I don't live in Rome.
Right. We'll write, if you don't live in Lazio, then you don't live in Rome. Okay, let's check validity. Is it true or it is false?
It's true.
Yeah, because if you don't live in this region, Lazio, where every city inside, like Rome, Ostia, Anzio, if you don't live here, we are 100% sure if you don't live in Lazio, you don't live in Rome. So not living in Lazio implies not living in Rome. Окей. Ребят, здесь все понятно по этим 4 стейтментам, conditional? Давайте повторим. The first is conditional statement. If P, then Q. Second one is converse. If Q, then P. Third one, inverse. If not P, then not Q. And fourth, the last one is if not Q, then not P. Okay. And, вы заметили relation that if this is true, then this will be also true. So if our original conditional statement is true, then the contrapositive will be true as well. Why it's like this? Let me show you the relation. Okay. Conditional statement. Let's say our conditional statement is true. And we take contrapositive of the conditional. Contrapositive, in most cases, contrapositive will be false. Because if not, it's biconditional, contrapositive of the conditional statement will be always false. And then, in the last, what's the contrapositive? Contrapositive, it's, not of contrapositive. No, come on, I had a mistake. It was converse, right? Okay, conditional statement is true. Converse is, in most cases, it's false. And you have to write contrapositive. Contrapositive, it was not converse. In our case, we know that converse is false, and we are left with not false. Not false is true, right? So what's the false? Actually, false, it's not true. Смотрите, ложь – это неправда. Как бы есть приставка, да? Типа неправда. И неправда будет правдой. I mean, not true. Do you remember the double negation that not they cancel out and we are left with just true? Okay, that's why contrapositive, if the conditional statement is true, then contrapositive is automatically true. Здесь есть вопросы? Окей, если все понятно, можем двигаться дальше. Давайте я напишу statement. If I play guitar. Then I am a musician. Okay. This is our conditional statement. It is true, right? If I play guitar, then I am a musician. I wrote it here, the definition of musician, a person who plays a musical instrument, especially a profession or a musically talented. So if I play guitar, I play musical instrument, right? So if I play guitar, then I am a musician. This is true. Кстати, здесь Майкл Джексон на первом месте. Окей. Вам нужно будет найти converse, нужно будет найти inverse, и нужно будет найти contrapositive. И посмотреть, да, проверить validity. Давайте, ребята, у вас будет 2 минуты, и потом мы вместе все напишем. Смотрите, если conditional it's if P then Q, converse is if Q then P, inverse is if not P then not Q, and contrapositive is just the negation of the converse. If not Q, then not P. Что будет у нас в конверсе? Что мы пишем в конверсе?
If I'm a musician, then I play guitar.
Правильно. If I'm a musician, then I play guitar. Okay, is it true or is false?
It's false because I can play piano, for instance.
Yeah, exactly. This is false. Okay, what will be our inverse?
If you don't play... sorry, кто хотела говорить?
No, it's right. If I don't play guitar, then
Yeah, if I don't play the guitar, then I'm not a musician.
yeah. If I don't play a guitar, then I am not a musician. Okay, is it true or false, Sophie? What do you think?
This should be false.
Yeah.
Because I can play any other instrument.
Yeah, you can play other instrument and still be a musician. Maybe you can play violin and so on. Вопрос, ребят, если я вот такую черную сделаю, вам это лучше, чем белый? Либо лучше в белый перейти? Как удобнее?
В
Come on, guys.
принципе, без разницы.
Разница.
Без
Да.
разницы. Окей. Тогда я продолжу в черной. The last one is contrapositive. What we'll write in contrapositive case?
If I'm not a musician, then I don't play guitar.
Right. If I'm not a musician, then I don't play a guitar. Let's check the validity. Is it true or false?
True.
Yeah, it's true, because definition of a musician is that if you play any instrument, you're automatically a musician. If I'm not musician, it implies that I don't play any musical instrument. So let me write like this. This whole set is all musical instrument, and inside there is guitar, there is violin, there is piano, and so on. So if I'm not in this set, it implies that I don't play a guitar. So yeah, this is true. Not being musician implies that you don't play guitar. Здесь все понятно, ребят?
Да.
Окей, тогда мы переходим в следующую. Обратно перейду в белую. Я думаю, белая более удобнее. Что если у нас будет вот такая вот форма? P implies Q, and automatically Q implies P, and both are true. It means that P implies Q is true, and Q implies P is true. It means that our conditional statement is true, and our converse statement is also true. When we write conditional statement, here I write converse. In this case, when P implies Q is true and Q implies P is also true, so in these cases, it will be our biconditional statement. Okay, let me write specific example. Maybe it will be more clear. Okay, I want to remind the word polygon. Polygon is многоугольник. И если мы разберем полигон как этот наш большой сет, то это будет полигон. И внутри это у нас, triangle, rectangle, and so on. All, what was it? Шестиугольник. Как было на английском? Hexagon? Hexagon, right. All, figures with multiple angles is more than 2. They are polygons. Okay. Let me write like this. If polygon is triangle, if a polygon is a triangle, then it has 3 sides. This is our conditional statement. Conditional statement. If P, then Q, or P implies Q. Guys, is it true statement? If a polygon is triangle, then it has 3 sides. Is it true?
Yes, it's true.
Yeah, it's true. What if we take converse of this statement? What it will be like? What we'll write? Like we
If
have
the
to
polygon has 3 sides, then it's a triangle.
Yeah. If polygon has 3 sides, then it is a triangle. Is it true or false? What do you think? If polygon,
It's also true.
it's also true. So that's why it will be biconditional statement. If polygon has 3 sides, then it's a triangle. Здесь все понятно, ребят? Что такое biconditional statement? Это когда conditional statement true и converse statement also true. Usually when conditional statement true, in most cases, converse will be false. But there are some cases when conditional statement true and converse is also true. In this case, our statement is biconditional. Okay. Я скину сейчас в группу наше первое задание. Секунду. И попробуйте его решить. Okay, I've sent. Okay, we are giving the statement. If two functions are differentiable, then their product is also differentiable. Okay, from here to here, this is our conditional statement. If P, then Q. And we have to deduce, yeah, what's which of these possible answers it's true. Like this one or this one or this one or this one or this one. You have to find, equivalent. We have to deduce from this conditional statement the other also conditional statement. Like they are equivalent in validity. Okay, let's our P be a two functions are differentiable, and our Q, it's, their products is also differentiable. We know that this is true, and from our all conditional statements, if the first one is true, then it implies, and you have to check. У нас меньше 1 минуты. У нас будет брейк 10 минут, и после этого переподключимся. А до этого попробуйте решить и отправить мне. И после этого я еще отправлю задание. Окей, тогда переподключимся через 10 минут.
Okay.